But we've got to get back to business. We got some things to do today, right? Like maybe crown our world champions. What do you think?
I think it's game time. I think all the fun is over, and now it's time to get serious. The 4 best teams in the world are still in the tournament, and I can't wait to watch the action go down because that's going to be some fireworks up there on that stage.
Really exciting, and it's all just to lead up to right now here.
You got to think about Sentinels' journey to get here. Elimination bracket round 1. You're playing for top 8. You're down 9 kills in game 5. Things are looking grim. Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo picks up a Stalker. They start making plays. They figure out some way to get through that barrier. And then ever since then, they have played better and better and better every single series. They're going to need their best against FaZe here, but you got to love the journey and the resilience that this team showed with their backs against the wall so far.
You will indeed. Let's kick things off with FaZe and talk about how these guys are going to push themselves to the limit and get potentially back into that grand final, which they had their sights set on from the beginning of this tournament. It's going to be a tough one going up against Sentinels. We have some history between these two teams, not just in terms of matchups, but of course history as well. Now, Wes, when you're looking at FaZe Clan, how they have managed to perform here this weekend, a really close call against Optic, and then a fiery reset last night against Native Red.
Yeah, FaZe were flawless up until the point where they ran into Optic, and that series could not have been any closer. Both of those Slayers, games 2 and 5, were decided by, what, 1 kill and 3 kills? They want to get back in an opportunity to redeem themselves for losing the Slayers, but that's something that you cannot afford to do. They find themselves now in the elimination bracket against the guy that they made a team change for, and that is a big moment for both of these two teams to prove the decision was correct and to also get back on the right page because they made that change to win a world championship. It's now or never for FaZe.
Now, Tony, when you look back at the rematch from Fort Worth, FaZe won 3-0, the Slayer was a 50-37. Do we see this going their way in that type of fashion again? Or do you think Sen have a little bit more strength in them this time? So much resilience so far in this tournament, pushing all the way through the elimination bracket. My goodness, the run they have been on, and rightfully so. They're incredible players. We have seen them get it together. We've seen them go to a grand finals this season. So what's to say that they can't do it this time?
I mean, it's been a tough journey so far. You're coming as the number 7 seed, so it's a really tough pool play to come out of. And then the bracket really hasn't been that forgiving to them as well. But like Wes said, you stepped it up yesterday. Late, you come in, and right now you're guaranteed top 4, and you have a chance to make it to the top 3 against FaZe, a team that you have already beaten. So, Sentinels, now's your time.
Now, Tony, when you're looking at Sentinels and what they have to do here in terms of the actual details of this series, do you think they have to win Strongholds and King of the Hill to have a really, really good chance here? Because, you know, the advantage of the map set, I do feel like sways a little bit more in FaZe's favor at the moment with how they've been working. So what would you say is the necessary components for a win for Sen?
I think that's really important. I think, especially because you mentioned Strongholds. Strongholds Recharge is going to be game number 1, and Recharge is going to be the most important map of this series. Both of these teams have struggled on Recharge, and if you want to come out hot, you're going to have to beat them if you're Sentinels, because after that, like you said, Live Fire, going into game number 3, you're 5-0. That's going to be a really tough matchup for you. So I think you got to come out hot and Recharge. Make sure you get it over toward that game 4, which, by the way, Sentinels are very good at streets, and then beat them out on Slayer when you go back to Recharge in that game number 1 after gaining that confidence in the beginning of the series.
Against this FaZe roster, the only way to slow them down is to kill them quickly. What better weapon to do that than with the snipe or the shock rifle? We know how capable Spartan is of an individual player. We haven't really seen a ton of highlights from him, I feel like, on the main stage as of yet. This is the moment I believe we were waiting for.
I do indeed. I also want to mention Falcated just a little bit. We've seen some real spark from this guy recently in this tournament specifically, but I also like the comparison as well of Royal 2 versus Falcated. And I think you're looking at 2 main Slayers. Royal 2, I mean, he's got the 2nd highest KD of World so far with a 1.34, and in CTF, I mean, it's off the charts, 2.13, so he's really making openings here. But Falcated, he's also, as well as Spartan, been helping to lead the way for Sen, having a 1.23 KD behind a 1.41 in King of the Hill. So your first match on Championship Sunday at your World Championships starts right now.
When we joined the Halo World Championship, we took an oath. In the blood of our teammates, in the hearts of our fans, we swore to complete our objectives. Those who oppose our efforts shall fail, unworthy of the final prize. And to continue our march to glorious victory.
Houston with all the goodies and putting them all to use. This time for the final. Of course, it's a triple kill. You might get precision FC right there. Has to try and survive. But oh no, Frosty's got hands on 4. Can he hold it? 3 days. Oh my God. Oh, no way. Make it 3. Oh, there is the Frosty. Make it a hero play towards the end of the game.
Seattle, it's time for Championship Sunday, and we are kicking it off with FaZe versus Sentinels, and this is gonna be a bloodbath. Of course, I'm Golden Boy here alongside the legendary Walshy as we get ready to commentate this game.
But totally possible. Keep in mind, Sentinels, they beat FaZe 2 times
That
at
they did.
HCS Salt Lake City. Can they make it a third for the season at the most important event of the year? We're kicking it off with Recharge Strongholds, and let's jump on board with Snakebite.
That's right, the captain. See what he does here. Pressure's on, and obviously could be a bittersweet, situation here as well for the boys on FaZe, because they're going to be going up against their former teammate in Lethal. But how, poetic would it be for Lethal to be able to send home the team that replaced him with Renegade here at the Halo World Championship, Walshy? It would be utterly absurd. What a story that would be.
Yeah, they would ultimately have the last laugh, winning 3 out of their last 4 matches. Absolutely not. Giving up on that one.
All right, well, let's see what happens here. Snakebite's going to have this camo. Pushing it back here. He's just trying to wait this one out. He knows that there's going to be some pressure potentially coming here. But a good read, as they're just going to play this one out slowly. They did have a brief triple cap, but it is going to be responded immediately.
Yeah, and it felt good for a second there while they're capping C, but Sentinels out-rotating, taking both A and B. Sentinels fans will take that trade any day of the week, with C being one of the easier strongholds to capture on this game mode.
Indeed, indeed. As we now see Spartan, he's got himself that shock rifle over in the corner. He's waiting to see if there's going to be any marks, any targets. One's potentially going to be challenging over toward Gold, but Royal 2's going to wisely enough back away. He's going to have to deal with 2 players here in a minute.
Valkated just picking up kill after kill. They collapse on the players in the pipes. And now FaZe, they're down to the last 2 members. Look at them wait though. Smart play by FaZe. No need to panic. It's early on in the game. They don't need to force anything just yet.
Spartan is going to feel the brunt of that off of a Frosty double kill, and that's going to be a Frosty triple kill. He's looking for one more. It could be Falcated if he's going to show his head over toward top goal, but that ain't going to happen here. Pressure's coming in from Fal, though. It's going to force him back, and we're looking at a potential trip cap here for FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe get trip cap, trying to make up that lost ground. They're down by about 25 points right now, and what are they going to do to make it back? They have their trip cap in effect, but B is being recaptured by Sentinels, and also Lethal has the camo.
Huge opportunity here for Lethal. Certainly the player that you want to have holding this particular power item. He's able to avoid that sticky. So he'll get the flip here on C. You got 2 down though for Sentinel, so Lethal's going to have to be dealing with a few of the members of FaZe here in a moment. C backs away. He will have some assistance though. Here comes Lethal, and here comes FaZe on the push. Snakebite trying to get a little dirty in there. Pushing in towards C, and Lethal, as well as Snakebite, go toe-to-toe on that one. Very well done, but it was going to be Frosty who picked up the kill and gets the trade 3 down for Sen.
Huge trade there by Lethal, taking out his former teammate Snakebite. Falcated, look at those peak shots, got more damage there, but can they close out? Lethal comes in to help clear out the elevator, but here come the reinforcements. Royal 2 getting 2 slays and control of Turbine.
Beautifully done there. As they manage to hold A and C, how the Sentinels respond? Let's jump into a listen in.
No, and they tell back C on me with repulse. Yeah. Up there. Watch out back C with repulse. Watching grapple, Mike. Looking grapple. They're on my pipe right now.
Yeah, on me.
He's on driveway. On driveway.
Right,
Watch out absolute pipes. Absolute village.
Alright, you last guy. In long haul, going glass.
Go.
Yeah, glass Renegade, gonna go top red. Gonna go top red Renegade.
Watch out top A. I got him.
Nice.
He in top red.
Renegade gonna be on you, Jesse.
He stuck me. He's top A. Top white. Watch it out too, guys. Top white.
He's on the steps. 1-on-1 there, TJ. Yeah. Weak top A cat, Frosty.
Yo, 25. Kill me. I died. Yeah, we need to get top white, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying. He's still
top.
One's
red sniping. Looking. What's top A, Mike? You know you're there, Mike.
20 seconds camo.
Hey, bottom A.
Shut top A.
Top A and bottom A. One was red sniping.
Alright, take our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 to.
Was that red sniping? We shoot red together?
Don't get staggered
Yeah,
too bad.
I'll try to.
Could be flagging.
Bottom A, Frosty has a
Still top there,
repulse.
no?
Bottom A has a repulse.
Top red.
Ballad time me, ballad time me. Came on 5, came on 5.
They might try to push up on tower. In the glass here. All right, take your time.
Go ahead,
Bottom white, one shot, Frosty.
One shot, Frosty.
Jump bottom.
Top weak, top is weak.
Frosty, one shot, yellow door.
They can't kill me.
And Needles on shot. Yellow door, Minger.
They're still got still got
Two bottom
it.
mid, Minger
Gonna be
pit.
long, gonna be long.
Yeah, two Minger pit.
Needles.
Yeah.
Needles sniping and 2 bottom mid. One has camo. He's stacks to camo.
Looking at it, looking at it.
2 stacks, one has camo.
Yeah, see.
Well, despite the good comms there from Sentinels, FaZe still managed to have full control of this game. And you know that they're trying to anticipate some of these plays here, Dave, but FaZe have just had their number each and every play. And the only thing that they've been able to do is get one of those, home sites, right? Whether it's A or C.
Yeah, at least they haven't let that expand into a trip cap.
That's true.
But you're right, the comms were great, calling out what they want to do. It was the execution where it fell apart. Every single step of the way, FaZe were right there. They were able to get the slays, they were able to back them down, and they put on more pressure. FaZe aren't just defending right where the strongholds are at. They're taking up more ground. They're putting pressure over at control as soon as they have some extra damage on the players.
Yeah, FaZe is just so good at playing with that kind of information, though. Kind of like knowing that Boo is going to be weak, so World 2 can just look away for a minute here. He's going to go help his teammate out, Frosty. Boo is going to turtle himself inside of Whirl. He got some pressure over toward Gold as well, but at this point in time now, FaZe are just going to be looking for this opening, and this could be materializing here at Whirl, but it's not going to happen. 2 down now, as Sentinels are going to try and get themselves back into this game, Dave.
Yeah, FaZe, the last member alive. Frosty not only getting the cap onto B, gets the slay onto Lethal, and dips away over into the pipes. That win cannot be understated because all of a sudden FaZe no longer have to be the aggressor. They have 2 strongholds. They can play defense.
Well played. Frosty managing to play his life there very well. Falcated wisely enough back in the way. You're seeing a lot of kills now starting to come through in the favor of FaZe Clan. Falcated's going to be between a rock and a hard place. Managed to stay alive, and they're able to get themselves 2 kills off of that. That's pretty big.
They got 3 kills total throughout that entire exchange, and they have to go for a big play here. And you look at it, Sentinels, they're grabbing the camo, they're grabbing B, and they're going to try to defend over at A, but here comes the counter push from FaZe. Players weak in pipes, players weak in the batteries. Falcated's got everywhere. Eyes on both of them.
Players week on a Friday, players week on a Saturday. Bagel bites. I don't know. I was just trying to get a jingle going. But yes, very well done there by Sentinels to get themselves back into this one. And a trip cap could be what the doctor ordered here. You got to watch out and see what's going on with Lethal. He does manage to get a big kill over towards C.
And pay attention to that scoreline. They were down by about 100 plus, and here they have the trip cap going. Can they stop this elevator push? It looks like Falcated crew all collapsing in here. That is going to be reset momentarily, and this trip cap's going to continue to extend.
Quite dangerous here for FaZe Clan. Snakebite's got to win this fight. He's got one in front of him. Body shots right to the chest to just handle that business, but he knew that the pressure was going to be coming from up on the elevator side toward A. Here it comes now. Got Boo Boo Doo versus Snakebite. Boo Boo Doo trying to just see if he can predict where he's going to be moving from, but Snakebite, great job as he's just luring a lot of attention. But where is the rest of FaZe? He's been by himself back here the entire time just trying to stay alive.
Boo Boo's brought a clan with him. When he comes back for this battle, it's not going to be a fair one. 3 people roll into the elevator and clear out that stronghold. And look at the score. All of a sudden, Golden Boy, it's about a 30-point game. Sentinels brought it back to that trip cap.
Yeah, that's the beauty about strongholds, is that at any point in time, you can come back into this game. So at that point, Sentinels not in a bad spot here. 175 and counting. Pull down to A and C control, but Frosty's gonna try and change that up here for a moment, expecting some pressure down low, but it ain't coming.
But this time, FaZe have 2 members in the elevator. Last couple times, they've tried to capture elevator.
That's true.
They've been down a member, and this time, they've actually had full force. This is a setup that we saw so successful from FaZe earlier. They're holding the A-B setup and putting pressure in towards control. Looks like this time, Sentinels opt to push towards the center of the map instead of just going from control and catwalk. And it looks like it's successful so far. They take down Frosty, they take down Renegade. Can they get a 3rd kill, and can they get B?
And that's going to be yet another power item picked up here for Sentinels. And they're going to try and use this one to lock down this win, maybe take this lead. It's going to be a tough one, without a doubt. Boo Boo Doo's trying to scope this one out. He's got to win this fight, and he does so. That's the trip cap now for Sen.
Trip cap in effect. Are they going to push this advantage? I don't think they have the opportunity to. It's a 3-on-3, and if they overextend, they could give up some crucial kills and lose not just 1 stronghold, but 2. So you look at Boo Boo Doo and teammates reeling back there. That's the correct play. It's okay to push for the trip cap when you have a significant advantage. Right there, they're even footing.
And this is where Things are going to get a little dicey now for FaZe. They got a lot of players that are very weak here toward gold, and some help is coming in. Lethal was able to get one, but Frosty does find his mark, though. He's got to try and play his life, stay alive long enough here to try and help out.
But what a huge flank there from Boo Boo. All that damage done, can it be taken advantage of? And the push is coming in towards Elevator. Falcated one-on-one against Frosty. Look at Falcated by time. He's not letting Frosty grab the hill just yet. And just because of that Renegade and Frosty having to focus on Falcated and his teammates all across the map, grab and see. And now we have a lead here for Sentinels.
Big one here, of course, Falcated, adhering to the 5 rules of dodgeball, dodge, duck, dip, dive, as well as dodge. Very well effective. Fortunately for Frosty, though, he's going to get back whacking over toward A, and I don't think anyone saw that one coming.
Nobody knew Boo Boo was there.
Except
Boo Boo sneaks behind, gets the kill, but damage still done across the map. Lethal and Falcated taken out, and the Pipes is going to be a deciding battle right here. And that's going to go in the favor of FaZe. FaZe just has to play defense for another 7 points. I think this has to be a contest over towards B. I don't know how else to get a different stronghold, and that's going to be game. No, B is being contested.
Yeah, B is getting contested here. Frosty's going to try and see if he can win this one out. He's got one player in front of him, but he can't do anything about that. And that is going to be the game. FaZe Clan take map 1 here Championship Sunday.
They can breathe easy, but not that easy. That game was so close. Sentinels brought that back. There were so many times where they were down by 60 points, even over 110 points, 1 point throughout the game. So Sentinels claw that back. Shows so much resilience, shows how strong they are playing today.
Well done by the veterans on FaZe Clan. Sentinels, though, nearly had their number. These first 2 maps are going to be very pivotal here for both of these squads. Shocked if any squad manages to pull off a crazy lead in the mid game, because at that point, then I think, you know, you kind of have to wrap it up there, because with the way these 2 teams contest against one another, there's surely something's got to give. Yeah, something's got to give, but Sentinels, they have had some rougher Slayer matches here against FaZe. Their head-to-head matchup is Sentinels have won 1 Slayer against FaZe, whereas FaZe has won 5. Oof. Not stats you want to see going into a World Championship matchup. That's the reality. World 2 is going to be able to get himself a kill early on. Look at Frosty there. He does have his sights set on Boo Boo Doo Boo. If he didn't get him, his teammate was going to pick him up as well. And the spawns now are going to be popping up behind Frosty, and they're setting up with this snipe, getting it away from that snipe tower.
Yeah, just rotating out. Just because you have someone near that tower doesn't mean you need to hold it. Get out of dodge, bring that sniper to a new location, and just set up and pick off players. Notice how FaZe were even willing to give up that snipe side of the map, even though not a single member has dropped. They've gotten 3 kills themselves and able to rotate that away. But look at this. Sentinels all down low, getting ready to make a hidden push. They don't want to go out into an open spot up high where Frosty can get a free pick.
Yeah, and Frosty actually read this play. He moves away from it, goes over toward, well, actually right here toward the window. And a great read, great response here from Snakebite and the rest of FaZe. They were able to pick up these kills. Frosty lines one up, clean body shot there against Boo Boo Doo Boo, and that stop just got basically nullified immediately.
Yeah. Near those stairs of that poster, I've seen Frosty use that spot consistently. Seems like he likes to set up that time, not just to get back shield, but also a time where he has full shield. He'll hide behind there, wait for one of his teammates to create a distraction, then jump up and help finish off the fight.
Yeah, he comes in at the perfect moment for this FaZe roster. Now he's got himself some good height here by Ledge. You know the pressure's going to be coming in, though. Falcated was able to get a double kill. Got to back away from this one, and that was just a rough situation, but well done by Sentinels to put that pressure on FaZe.
Yeah, Sentinels not getting off to a large deficit, even though FaZe have had Sniper in their hands for 1 minute and 45 seconds. That can't be understated.
Yeah.
Halo's all about maximizing your gains and minimizing your losses. In a situation where the opposing team has one of the best players in the world with a sniper in their hands to only be down by 3 kills, look at what happened since. They're now on neutral footing, and Sentinels closing that gap even further. Only 1 kill away from tying this game.
This is exactly what we thought was going to happen, Dave. These 2 teams are going to be neck and neck the entire series. The caliber of player has exponentially increased in Halo Infinite over the course of the year, and everyone here feels that pressure. So much on the line. Spartan now sees 2 in front of him, but he's going to have to make a decision here, and fortunately for him, the decision was made for him. Meanwhile, as we look over toward FaZe, World 2 trying to play ring around the rosy here with his player, and that is going to be a trade with Falcated.
Trade all about there. That is so rare to not have one team get that one-person advantage and to just roll through the others. Shows how evenly matched these two squads are, just jostling for position. As soon as one is weak, that player's getting finished off and then damage traded out onto the next player.
Lethal Now's picked himself up a sniper. See what he could do with it now. We saw Frosty wield this weapon earlier at the beginning of the game. Try to repulse himself to get a little quick, like, juke over to the side. Fortunately, didn't work out for him there. Frosty now back where he feels comfortable with this sniper over toward Nest. He's gonna wait this one out, and a big shot there on Boo Boo Doo Boo.
We're gonna see when Frosty grabbed the sniper, FaZe had a 3-kill lead. Are they gonna do more work with it this time? Last time, Frosty not able to find the angles. Not until it's too late. Player lifting up there, easy no-scope for someone like Frosty, and once again, going to relinquish control over at Snipe Tower and rotate it back towards the yard. Just feeling too much pressure, too many angles where the set members can come over from.
But good calls were coming in for Frosty, so he looked low and was gifted a pick on a player that was rather weak. Cafe's gonna be exposed. Frosty wrapping back around here because they're anticipating where this push is gonna come from. They need information, and they got it. They know it's gonna be LR push, so Frosty's just waiting this one out. Sees the player in the driveway there. Nice body shot on him just to keep that push at bay for the time being.
And those are the trades that Lethal are known for. It's going to show on the stat screen as 1 kill and 1 death, but he's taking out the power weapon player. He's taking out whether it's sniper or rocket player, and just creating an opening for his team, saying, sniper's down for a second, boys. Make your move.
FaZe Clan's built up a decent lead, 26-20. Let's listen in and see how the comms are.
Getting out.
LR1, LR1.
One in. Front LR. Okay, dude. Mark it. Hey. I'm dead. Top mid. Snipes that ammo. Can we make another play? On me.
No, we can't. We're getting hit.
Drop here. Two there, John. I'm getting out.
Yeah, I get out. Let's get livers.
Yo, let's hold them out. Flowers. Hey, are you one in flowers. No, 2 flowers, big man. 3 flowers. I gotta live, man.
I think they might be hitting blue here.
I'm about to hit trim. One in flowers, bro. One in flowers. We're good. There's one like S4. That's just in. One S4. I got him. Let's talk coming. I saw trim. You guys can run. U-turn. Repulse still. Bottom left repulse.
There's 2 there.
You're in back, man.
There's gonna be 2 there.
I'm gonna die.
Let's go.
I'm dead 2. You top side. Alex, you want to just sit here?
Yeah.
2 top side. They're pushing posters. Are you top side? You want to keep on blue?
Behind me. Behind us, gold.
That's one blue. We're all blue.
I'm not kidding. Walk out. Come.
No. Two yard bear on 1 head, guys. No, two did both.
Snipers 15. Dude, yard bear still, guys. Yard bear.
I'll give you one. New snipe.
Listen. Pivot. LR. People we run, we turn around.
LR and blue. Are you blue? Can we look blue? Yeah, blue window. I got blue. Are you? Didn't kill me, guys. On me, blue guys. On me, blue. Try to one it. Please. I need you to stay right here. Don't live. Blue rim still.
Who's this in the liver?
I'm looking at this right now.
Yo, top here. Top. High,
One of the blue truckers. Nice. It's one blue.
You can clip them. Yo, run. You can run. I got it. There's 3 blue guys. 3 blue. I repulse right now. I'm baiting him.
Great listening to the FaZe, but the story is all Sentinels closing that 6-kill gap. You heard all these coordinated pushes from FaZe saying we're gonna push toward yard. Let's round this corner together. But Sentinels having the correct answer. When players are rolling into small clumps where you have 2 or 3 people in a small area, you just create a little distance. You buy time for your teammates coming from different angles. Throw some grenades, and Sentinels did that perfectly to tie up that game during that last listening.
And also another thing to bear in mind as well, Dave, is you could also hear a little indecision in the comms of what they wanted to do in that particular instance. I think it was Royal 2 saying, like, trust me, like, let's just go ahead and do this. And things were crumbling, unfortunately, for them. But there's still an opportunity to get back into this game, clearly because they have the lead.
Yeah, it's a little questionable at some point. You're like, come on, trust me, bro. Like, at this point, when you're in the World Championship, you should be able to call with authority and say, we're doing this.
Frosty now managed to get that sniper yet again. And this is where things are going to get a little hairy here at the mid-game. Because Sentinels don't want to give up any dumb deaths here. And no one was almost given up because Frosty had the read. And he knows where they are, they're just not giving him angles.
Here's the thing is, You need the spot where that sniper is, and snipers like Frosty are known to get a kill somewhere and then reposition. So they now know where Frosty was. They now know he repositioned over towards bomb center and uncertain what to do. He was shooting his feet through the Kia? Is that possible?
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. More you know. I learned a lot of things this weekend, Dave. There were a lot of really cool, like the palm tree jump up. I didn't even remember that was a thing. Pretty cool stuff there.
36 apiece. Frosty, let's be real, has been pretty much negated with this sniper. We haven't been able to see him go on the sprees that he's known for. Instead, almost feels like Frosty's been more of a distraction as all these players are trying to collapse in and get these angles that players like Royal 2 and Renegade are able to get some picks. There's a kill from Frosty onto Spartan.
There you go.
Gets his help onto Falcated, making use of these last couple bullets, but here comes the fight against Lethal, and that's going to be some much needed kills and room for error here for the FaZe roster as they go into the 41 kill mark.
They only need 9. First to 50. Frosty finds one in front of him. A big fight here. Spartan couldn't get away from that one fast enough. A killing spree as well for Frosty. He's looking for the double, but instead, his teammate's going to have his back and get that one. They're so close to being able to wrap this one up. The Sentinels are so close from being able to tie this.
How do they decide to play this? You don't have the angle you need if you're in Sentinels. You have everyone down low and pushing over towards LR. You need that additional angle from top gold or from Cafe or Market. 1v1, Falcade versus Frosty. Frosty comes out ahead.
They were chomping up that map and not allowing Sentinels to be able to move at all. Finally, though, decisions were made by Sen to break out of this one. But if they keep trading, this is going to spell disaster here for Sen. 47-41, Frosty dips on out of there, has nothing left in the chamber with that sniper. But sure here, if they're not careful, they could get caught off guard. So they got to be mindful of this one, and that's why Frosty, wisely enough, is going to dip away, but the pressure is going to be coming in from FaZe.
Back. He's going to try to repulse him back or get that melee. Buy some time for his teammates, eventually taken out there. Not sure if that sniper was able to be slipped away here from the Sentinels roster. We did see it in the hands of Spartan before he was taken out. So if we have sniper in the hand Sentinels, they actually would have a chance here. And the fact that we see...
They don't.
Oh, I was just going to say, the body language from Renegade makes me feel like they had sniper. It felt like he was trying to make a move to not let them get something there. But
yeah.
Royal 2 has sniper. This is going to be a tall order here for Sentinels to pull this one back. Royal 2 also wasting a little bit of extra ammo. He realizes that one of the only ways that Sentinels are going to come back in this game is if they kill him and have a full sniper rifle.
There's the 49 kill. Falcated's going to be a little weak over toward the side. The big fight's coming down low. But here comes Royal 2, but it don't matter. FaZe Clan picks up map 2, and they go up 2-0.
And that is tough here. Not only just being down 2-0 against FaZe, but knowing that game 4 is so statistically against Sentinels.
Yeah.
They're going to have to blow up the impossible. I mean, we've seen them do it already this weekend. They're basically dead men walking.
Yeah.
Consider their series against Native White. They were down by 10 kills in that Street Slayer. This is elimination bracket, round 1. They come back to win that game. I believe it's 50-48 or 50-49. That's the difference between them getting 9th through 12th in this event and being in top 4 currently.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Dave. It's been a bit of a uphill battle for this Sen roster throughout the weekend, having to go through, you know, real smorgasbord of top teams here in the HCS. I mean, don't get me wrong, FaZe did the same thing as well, but for this rather young roster in Sentinels that got together, you know, like toward the midpoint of the season, it's been awesome to see the progress that they've made. But on the opposite side of that, FaZe Clan, even when you think that they're going to be in a tough situation, even when you think that they're going to be down by a sizable amount, they find a way to claw back into the game time and time again. Yeah.
They held that 2-cap setup. That's okay if you're on even ground, but if you have a 2-person advantage, roll through, try to stagger those spawns against FaZe.
Get as much value.
Yes, they need to get as much value as possible. They need to be maximizing those situations where they have an advantage. Yeah, I mean, we just haven't seen it yet this season. Anytime that FaZe have won 2 games in a series against Sentinels, they've closed out that series 3-0. Now, can Sentinels do what they haven't done this season yet against FaZe? Can they pull off a reverse sweep? Can they start it right here on King of the Hill Live Fire? We're kicking off with Lethal, the leader and captain for this roster.
All right, so they're going to play this one out, wait and see if anyone's going to get a little reckless toward mid, but instead it's going to be snakebite over toward the dummies. Good cleanup there by Lethal, but the pressure coming in. They really want this tower control with the snipe. and they're going to be rewarded for it with that play. You got one player who's going to be rather weak toward the nest, and Renegade smells blood in the water, so he goes for that. They have nest control, forcing him inside of that garage, but there seems like a player's trying to force him out of there.
But the entire time, Renegades had snipe. They've gotten a little ahead in slays, but the hill is 75% captured by Sentinels. So OS and Sniper in the hands of FaZe. They now need to clear out this hill and match up 80% of the hill time.
They have no other choice.
I don't think he knows that player's still back there. No? Must have been cleared. Must have been cleared. Yeah, last two members over at C-Plat. That's correct.
Well, with Snakebite holding this overshield here, maybe he can use this to good use, but it runs out at the worst possible time. It did not look at the top, and unfortunately
like
for him,
went through the legs or something like that.
Yeah, that sucks. He hates to see that happen, but
I'm gonna start walking bow-legged around the map like that.
Don't make me laugh, Dave. You made me cough. All right, well, Sentinels draw blood first. They get that first point on the board, showing that they are not going to roll over and die in this elimination semifinal.
They got the start they wanted. They are looking so good, and they're getting outslayed. That's the impressive part. They're getting outslayed by a little bit, and they dominated hill number 1 just by being in better position. So what Sentinels need to do is get even in slays. Yes, that worked on that very first hill. When you're able to out-rotate, when you're able to get so much hill time.
Yeah.
But do not be mistaken and assume that we can get outslayed the rest of this time and win in hill. No. Falcated, one of the KD leaders so far throughout the tournament, showing why he is such a difficult kill. Takes out 2 members
That's huge.
of FaZe with his teammate Spartan.
All right, well, pressure's going to be on Snakebite here because he's going to be dealing with 2 members and an overshield as well. So he's got a lot of work ahead of him, but some support's going to be coming over from the nest side. Great play there.
This is going to be tough here, though, for Sentinels. Fortunate spawns coming out of FaZe. They're pushing over from OS side. They have players coming from Nest, but they are somehow able to clear out most of these members of FaZe, despite having a really good disbursement and multiple angles to attack from.
Yeah.
FaZe push was shut down.
Well read there by Sentinels. You see where the FaZe members are spawning out toward the house there. You got some attempts at bottom mid as well. New snipe is going to be dropping in a moment here, so keep our eyes on that one. But this is about to be a 2-0 for Sentinels here, Dave, and it's looking good. They have one more push.
Here it goes. Frosty, they're going to
shut
take out
down.
one angle. Look at this great push there. Both Sparty and Falcated focus over on the plasma side, getting numbers advantage, and now they're going to push on back towards the hill. Cap number 2, and Sentinels off to a great 2-0 lead.
Sentinels have this 2-0 lead. Let's hear how the comms are going as we jump into a listen in.
I don't see
Make it A, an A, an A.
I think could be no.
Do an A. One shot again.
Yeah,
A. Nice. Last guy.
Yeah. I dropped one mid, I'm going pillars behind him.
Gotta live, Tyler. Might not win pillars. Yeah.
I got him.
There's 20
green
goals.
still. Green.
We're trying back green. I'll look at OS. No, I'll look at OS. You guys are
Show
good.
me green.
Nothing OS.
Dude, 2 back green. 2 green. They're gonna have repulse. Yeah, one in big back.
It's gonna be.
There's gonna be a multiple
guys,
multi
I think.
Mike. Yeah, but in A, I'm like.
Hey,
Cement, give me another one, I think.
Go up top.
Yeah.
One shot. 2 there. One shot in this. I got the one shot. One more top mid and A plat.
Yeah, I'm bottom mid right now.
One click, maybe
15
we'll
OV.
top mid.
15 seconds OV.
2A. 2A.
Go screens, go. Go screens.
Yeah, we need to play for this OV.
He's watching keys. He has a sniper no going A pit.
Yeah. No, one shot screens, didn't die.
Mike, just hill.
He's on front screens. They're not on it yet.
Behind you.
Hill guys.
Dummy door?
Weak sniping.
Yeah, they're still not on OS.
One
Yeah,
shot,
they just got it. Yo, OS going up cuts, just pop going up cuts.
Okay. Yeah, kill me to rat tunnel, really weak. Roll 2, rat tunnel. Jail. Hill guys weak. 3-0, 3-0. 2 are weak.
OS stick by. OS.
Don't sack. You know where he's going?
OS skeeter view. Cuts.
Shot me concrete. Yeah.
He's out of Bobby, I think. Almost. He's keys.
I don't
Out of Bobby. He's out of Bobby.
Vader weak.
Play
for kills. Play for kills.
Yeah, he wave.
Look at cuts. He waves up.
Can you wait first?
Just through that list, then we heard Sentinels trying to coordinate and get some kills there, but FaZe answering right back. We had yet to see really Sentinels get a full push after they started staggering spawns. And you notice how frustrating that was. They started to say, all right, play for kills. They have to give up that hill. It's a 4-cap game, and at some points you have to realize when you're at a disadvantage.
Uvaduva now trying to take the fight to FaZe. He's got some help, and it's going to be coming in big time. They got 2 members down. They're going to hold this one. Trying to see how much progress they can get. It feels like once Sentinels get on those points, man, they extract so much value, so much time.
Also, just such a great job from Boo Boo Doo Boo having Halo IQ and awareness there. originally hiding away from key door and scoreboard side while his teammates pushed in. As soon as they pushed in, rotated to the other side of that silo and blocked any angles attacking from plasma or dummies. Now they just have these multiple angles, and look at these players, 2 in the tunnels. They know where the finishes are going to come from. And all of a sudden, the final member, Snakebite, has to retreat all the way towards mud. They know the spawns are going to be mud, green, or nest.
And they read it. They get 3. Sentinels trying to will themselves back into this game, Dave. I'm so impressed by how they've been just so methodical each and every time. The moment they get on those hills, they just don't let it go.
Yeah, and they've been just doing a great job anytime they get the advantages. The part that's been most impressive to me is when you have seen Sentinels and FaZe in a 4v4 scenario. Sentinels have been recognizing where players are pushing from multiple sides, and they'll push on over, fight one side first, and then revert back with their numbers advantage.
Oh my word, Boo Boo Doo Boo trying to make miracles happen here, but unfortunately, you got 4 members down here for Sentinels. They know where the spawns are going to be coming from. They're anticipating this. Frosty trying to get a cheeky angle there to pop someone, maybe do a body shot, force that player away, which he is successful in doing so. Rotation coming around the side here as well. He's just really, I love the way that Frosty has just a heads-up way that he's just predicting where these players are going to go as much as he can.
From, but once again,
he's moving around.
Sentinels kind of out-rotating them. Frosty, notice nobody was at garage or green. That has to be a red flag lineup for the FaZe members realizing, uh-oh, that means there's got to be 3 or 4 players over here towards top center or towards the silo.
Yeah, good call there, Dave.
Halo, like I said, when it comes to callouts, half of it is calling out where somebody is. The other half is deduction. As soon as you see some where players are not at, you don't see them on a quarter or third of the map, your flags need to start going up, and you just say, oh my gosh, they're everywhere else.
Yeah.
You need to run back to get in the action.
You have to make that assumption each and every time. All right, FaZe now. What can they do? Is they're going to get inside of this 3-1 in the count if you're just joining us? FaZe have been looking pretty solid, but Sentinels have been bringing it to FaZe in every single map. This is do or die now for Sentinels. Elimination semi-final. Frosty goes down. 3 members down. Scratch that for FaZe. And if they continue to hold this could very well be it, Dave.
This is looking really solid here for FaZe.
They got to break this.
They are favored on this game type. Keep in mind, though, I believe the records were 7-2 on Live Fire King of the Hill for Sentinels and 6-5 for FaZe Clan. So, an advantage, but right here, FaZe have a chance to bring this within striking distance. Snakebite coiled up in the corner, trying to fight against Boo Boo Doo Boo. Who's going to win this fight? It's going to be Snakebite.
Snakebite gets the win. And this should be the hill. They got to stop Lethal here. There's going to be 1 player underneath. No one can stop him.
This is scary, actually. They not only are getting that hill, they're getting a fresh OS, and there is plenty of time on the board. This would be a different story if there was only 30, 60 seconds left. But all of a sudden, FaZe, they're reinvigorated. They realize that this game is still very winnable, and they are on the charge.
Big pickup there for Snakebite. He knows exactly where the players are going to be located, but he gets that melee off on 1. Renegade now to back him up. They're locking this one down. Green's a tough one, especially with these spawns coming through that big door. There's a lot of bullets you're going to have to make your way through.
And look at this. Renegade knows he's going to get help crossfire from Snakebite over towards the mud. He's watching towards the sandbags, and now prepared to double team anyone through the garage door. Realize the push is not coming or it's going to be delayed. Uncertain of where he should be helping. But Sentinels, they're deciding to rotate all the way across the map. They want to get control of the C-plat and then push over from Nest Bridge. They want that heightened angle. But FaZe, they already have the answer. They have players sitting all the way at tower ready to fight. And because of that, Boo Boo's isolated 1v1. Who's going to win, Boo Boo or Renegade?
He's got to play his life here. Juking around this. Big win there for Royal 2. They're going to keep this one going. And we might have a tied game, Dave.
This one's going to be tied up. Final hill.
Wow.
C-plat. Who's going to take it? Sentinels going to breathe life into the series. We're going to game number 4 or FaZe punching a ticket to the elimination bracket finals.
What a comeback from FaZe Clan. Magnum trying to win the battle there, but he's got some assistance. Frosty's got the reads. He does not have anyone in the hills quite yet, though. Got to hit that shot, but he doesn't find it. He wasn't scoped in for it, and the pressure coming from behind as well, so Falcade is going to be able to take him out.
Okay, what a flank there. Battle's going to be in the back towards the mud. Royal 2 has the weapons. Lethal's the last one alive. This is going to be FaZe putting more time on the board.
Scary territory.
Can Royal 2 hit these shots? OS coming up soon as well. Helps his teammate with the Shroud screen. That's going to be Renegade grabbing a full overshield.
Oh, boy.
They have half the hill. This is going to be tough. Sentinels don't really have 2 pushes. They have 1 push here, and they need to do some real damage.
And they got to get through an overshield player here, but Renegade's going to find his mark. Lethal's going to drop low. Snake bites down. They're around 75% here. Pops him. He's able to melee one. Maybe looking for the other as well, but his teammate was there for the pickup with the snipe. That was Lethal who did it. Lethal was down, rather. Only a few more seconds remaining on this hill, Dave.
This one's tough. It's do or die right here.
They gotta
for
win
Sentinels.
this.
It's Lethal and Boo Boo. Can they get in the hill? And no! FaZe
Oh my!
make the comeback here on game number 3.
How did they do that, Dave?
That is a heartbreaker.
I'm stunned. How did they pull that off? They were down 3-1 at one point, Walshy, and they managed to dig deep, pull that win back. A heartbreaker for Sentinels. They are eliminated from the Halo World Championship 2023, and FaZe Clan move on.
FaZe Clan, top 3, and you know they're eyeing that #1 prize. But that is tough. One of the toughest things in some of those objective games, specifically King of the Hill and Strongholds, is when you take your time to do a push together. They're not going to be super stoked on 4th place as they have their sights set higher. By the end of the day, 4th best in the world. No shame in that.
Indeed, indeed. For now, though, we have Blaze standing by with Frosty.
Thank you so much for the cast, Golden Boy and Walsh. Seattle, give it up for the FaZe Clan as they come out on top and continue their world's run. Now, Frosty, you guys were up 2-0. You guys win this series 3-0, but it was a comeback there in the end. They're up 3-1, just a slither away of sending that to map 4 and getting some momentum. How did y'all shut that down and get those last few caps there in the end?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, they were putting up a good fight to start that first game win of the series, right? But, I mean, we're kind of just building that confidence, and that's honestly what led us to be able to win that game. We just know now, like, whatever the score is, it doesn't matter. We're going to keep battling to the end, and that's what happened in that game.
It definitely did happen, okay? Because you guys know, never give up because you guys have the skill set to get it done every single time. Now, you are here towards the loser side of the bracket. What do you want to change from yesterday to today, as this is the last day of the year for some Halo? What did you want to be different?
Just keeping that confidence, keeping that momentum rolling, and honestly, we're in the loser side, but we're feeling really good.
Okay. Do they look good, Seattle? I think y'all do. Lastly, what you want to say to these fans that's been chanting your name ever since you got up here on the stage?
Hey, shout out all the FaZe supporters. I appreciate you guys, and hopefully I put on a show for you guys, us and the rest of the team, and yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for me and Frosty on the stage. Lot, take us away.